What's up, guys? It's your boy Jetbuster. We're back at it again. I apologize from the previous episode. We were in game and we were literally continuing with the storyline, speaking to the Sultana, and then it just randomly straight up disconnected. It just abruptly straight up disconnected from the server, so we've been literally dealing with the shenanigans for about 2 hours now. Waiting to get logged back in order to play the game. Let's just hope that crap doesn't occur again, because it was just downright just stupid. And that's one of the biggest reasons why people aren't really wanting to play the game, is because of those, key situations in life where you're doing things, you're going through the story, or you're even attempting to just click into a quest, and then it just abruptly just straight up disconnects you. I mean, it's just stupid. At this point, it needs to be fixed. It needs to be stopped. It is getting to be definitely old. But we're going back to Ul'dah. We got done more or less running all over the place with the Sultana to review Ul'dah with her, because we're possibly underneath the impression that Rubanon is going to be becoming the official leader of the Alamegan people, as he is of Alamegan descent. So I'm just kind of running back, going back to where she is, and gonna attempt this stuff again. But yeah, definitely a little bit irritated with that. So I apologize that the previous video was shorter than it needed to be, because that's not how it should have been done. But it is the way it is, I guess. But we are trying to get to the Sultana. That way we can go ahead and speak with her. Where is she? Okay, she's actually in the Coliseum, so I'm actually going the wrong way. Alright, fix that. I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope everything's going alright with you and everything, but yeah, it's been a very interesting day so far. Alright, we're going to speak to her at the Coliseum. From the moment I became a Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of documents and signing ceremonies. For years, I simply signed and where I was told to sign, and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter of my life, for it was during an official visit to the Coliseum that I first met Rubanon. The match that I had been invited to attend was not all what I expected. They had pitted the bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Rubanon to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Rubanon had but a single opponent to dispatch. When he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Rubanon is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to, but not only his freedom, but a seat at the syndicate, and then I had my blade.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Shell. Raban!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar. And so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Nice. Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for the well-being of for my well-being, of course. Papa Sean's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Ruvenon, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. Cool. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Azanath Ossuary. I have no clue where that is. Of course it would be all the way out there. When the calamity threatened, Rubenon led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Luiswa would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here, I see the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe that the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a sultana worthy of the same name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Uldar. I have chosen my path, Jetbuster. With Alamigo now freed from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already, my displaced Alamegans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I've made a small contribution, an artisan's school of Ragos Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time the Uldan Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Why not seek the advice of one who employs refugees? A wise decision, mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the syndicate, and he is one of the few who pays refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Martinville? Well, he is a most generous man. If something of an eccentric, let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. Airship landing. How do I get there? Oh, the Chamber of Rule. Okay. I remember now. I haven't had any need nor necessity to go there, but it's all good. Do. I've ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Speak with Nano, the Golden Saucer. The Gold Saucer. I heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. But Goldbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. We're on our way? I think I am. I gotta get upstairs though. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Martinville. Shall we sit here while we await his company? My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. No apologies are necessary, Godward. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice. When the Sultana herself comes calling, there is no important engagement. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Taralan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of the Alamegans' displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they suffer without a shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might be best distributed? The unusual circumstances of our meeting and your Grace's choice of company would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Ulda's wealth to save Alamegan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition? Most empathetically, I agree with your Grace, the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Uda in this arrangement? Profit? All you have done for Gurabani is displaced. I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune. Forgive me, Your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man, I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it to expect it. And then we must consider Ulda's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin not to improve their lot, but to nature or nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill? Indeed. Then any support I support to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ulda. Exactly so. So an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamegans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Arnaville. I thank you for your candor. Looks like she got her answer, boys. You can't go off and essentially help another, country without focusing on your own. That's a big problem nowadays, even in this day and age. It's funny, that stuff occurs in this day and age in this country, but yet, it's just not fully comprehended. Anyway, though, let's speak to Nanamo. Uproars, Sultana's resolve. Prophet. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Jepester, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Oh boy. Ordinarily, I would not trust an agent of the East Alderaan Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugani and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I am not. I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Etherlight in Uda. A fair journey to you, Jetbuster, and a swift one, if you please. To Kagane, we go. Holy moly, almost 1,400 just to teleport all the way to Kugane. Mm-hmm. Right, before I speak to him really quick, I gotta do something, so give me a second here, guys. Alright, boys. Let's continue with speaking to Mr. Hancock here. Jetbuster, to what do I owe the pleasure, or are you here on business? I beg your pardon. Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Uda. My dear Jetbuster, I have you to thank for this recognition, I am sure, and I am flattered that you came to me. Truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon masters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than the Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his guard robe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say, at the Science former headquarters in Tharlam. The Waking Sands would seem a suitable neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Very well, Jetbuster, and may your dealings prove fruitful. Why do we have to go back to this guy? Why? Why do we have to go back and always speak with this guy? Getting tired of seeing this syndicate guy. Wait. He's got his scheming paws in pretty much everything. Welcome back, Jetbuster. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito, you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the Monasterius at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule effectively. Very well. I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Oh my gosh. This guy. He's just making everybody a pawn, man. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I've heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work then, the hour of meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help. You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I am most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. Like, I don't, like,
To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
See, now this is a tough one. Al Kahana, Algiri, or the Saltery? I guess it doesn't really matter. I could just choose one.
Yes, if a stable trade route can be established between Uldar and Alamigo, then Alagiri would once more become an important waypoint. But while such growth would greatly benefit its current residents, I'm afraid it could sustain little beyond that.
Al Kahana.
Yes, a quarry town certainly does carry the potential for profit. At least it would do were it situated anywhere near a lucrative market. It would cost more to transport the materials than they are worth, in my humble opinion.
The Saltery.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gill.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well-versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ons of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders, just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
Okay. I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations, but I shall not complain. We have portrayed Loraricho's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Jetbuster. I could not have done it without you. So, all this, just to get a point across. Securing the sultry. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work of implementing the particulars of the plan. If you could prevail upon you one more time, Jetbuster, I would ask that you would convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. I think again, together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Uda both. Okay. I don't know where this is really going. I'm not fully understanding where this, where this is supposed to be in the storyline. Guess I'm just not understanding it fully. Yep, so you're back. What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Rubanon says he's going to return to Uda, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Loraricho's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, assuming the interim government elects to accept Uda's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Uda to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lorito too much control. Honestly, Alphanaut, it's like Kugani never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss the proposal with the Sultry's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Plot thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Jetbuster? I might need you to fill in details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may I mean, I understand we're trying to like completely rebuild Alamigo, you know? But I'm just not I'm not fully comprehending or understanding like the premise behind all of this. What manner of mischief brings you youngins to Old Wat this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Jepuster tell him about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad. We'll take care of all of that. Commander Hexa has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'll assign me to the lot if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Whiskar, my lady. My lad, truly I would. So does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you? Jepuster, think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the launch. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have my master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Sultry to its former glory. Good hunting. Why have we got to be so worried about... I don't get it. I'll just go with it. To me, it just doesn't make any logical sense that we're worried about getting a Sultry configured. Alright then, Jepuster, I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do and we'll see how we'll get on. Search your surroundings for yabbies. You may move the camera as well and zoom in and out. Target a yabby and inspect it with the left mouse click. Discover the Yabby's weak point. I don't get what they mean by discover the Yabby's weak point. Not understanding this. All progress will be reset. Okay guys, it doesn't make a bit of sense. You want me to zoom in on something, but yet there's nothing in particular that I need to be clicking on. Like, what am I supposed to be clicking on? I don't know what a Yabby's weak point is. Okay. This is a tad bit ridiculous. You speak with Windscar and use the telescope to observe a Yabby. One second, is that even a Yabby? It is a Yabby. Right then, Jeff, so I got a spot class you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do and we'll see how well I can get on. Search the surroundings for Yabbies. You may move the camera as well and zoom in and out. Target a Yabby and inspect it with the left click. Is that it? Okay, this don't make a bit of sense, boys. Dude, I'm zoomed in all the way. I have no clue what I'm supposed to be inspecting. This don't make a bit of sense. I'm zooming out and trying to do it on every single magnitude to see if there's anything specific that it's looking for. That didn't make any sense at all. That was a poorly interfaced system right there. The Yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Ah, looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting their shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Just hit as hard as you can. Yeah, I agree. Aim at the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head. Are they? Right then. Wish me luck. But we would just kill this thing in 2 seconds. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm glad I don't have to ever do that again. That was a very poor interface in my opinion. Thanks, Jippo, sir. I just did as you told me, and the Weavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. Speak with Wiskar and use the telescope to observe. Oh, bad. I can handle the Yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Search your surroundings for For phobads, you may use the camera as well and zoom in and out and take a photo bad and target a phobad and inspect it. Left click. They literally want me to inspect this to try to find the weak point. Okay. Golbat's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense powers pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a phobad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy the core within its brow. Just hit really, really hard as you can. I really wanted to say that because it's so true. Inside its head. Oh, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. I feel like I'm like training a chocobo, except it's a human. It's not easy fighting with the Liberator of Alamega, watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Chipbuster. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the soldier before Granddad starts to worry. I've been sniped into pieces and fed to a Yabby's hatchlings. Okay. I see you returning in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself after a bit of instruction from Jetbuster here. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad, a fine young man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man. Too often of late, I hear tales of folk over in the city drunk on victory and hungry for revenge. Their heads struck firmly in the past, but we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the sultry ready to welcome our long lost countrymen. Nice. Card level 7 idle weapon. Really? Getting really close. It seems Whiskar has the sultry security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with the Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Alden. Apologies for the interruption, sir, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt, and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Uda. You should go. General Alden asks that you wait for him by the main gate Yeah, let me go quarter my apologies again, sir. Fare you well. So what is this? We keep on getting reports from freaking all the insurgent peeps. Come and say, oh hey, we need to go meet with Ruban. Oh hey, we need to go meet with Lee. So hey, we need to do this. Kind of what I've been observing so far. Wrong way. Oh, that's a weapon, yo. Pretty suave. Why are we meeting by this location again? Oh, a cutscene?
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal. Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I just prefer killing everything, cause like, I get sick and tired of any form of revolts. It gets old, man. It really does. Oh, I don't know.
You would spare these animals? Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
I don't know how in the world Rubinon has a son, man. He has a freaking son as a Lalafell.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't. But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
My question is how in the world did Rubenon get a son that is a Lalafell? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all, man. So he has a son that's a Lalafell. So unless he's got some secret relationship between the Sultana and all that fun stuff is the only thing I can think of. But the way that they portray the story does not sound like that so far. So like, I don't know. I mean, he's now saying that he wants to go off and be with the Sultana and stuff like that in Ulda, which is fine. But I don't know if that's true what he wants. Find out. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, Ardenvold, what's new? What news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Antana has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vera. These are Koyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting that they be allowed to attend the council. Lise is trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all of the native beast tribes, but we assumed that the Koyana would refuse it out of hand. Well, we would best go and see for ourselves. We can take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Yep, Buster, you've dealt with these Kolyana before. I'd have you at my side. Okay. Alright. I mean, I'm not seeing any problems, you know, with any of this. I mean, if you're gonna set up a government, and you gotta make sure that it's equal across the board with all people in your, you know, region. I mean, they're gonna have their own separate internal governments for their people, but it's not that big of a deal. So I personally don't see any issues. Bum, bada, bum, bum, bada, bum, bum, bum. Hello, Lise. What's up, girl? Tipbuster, Rubenon, gods, it's good to see you. The Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Gerbania home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Antana. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter this palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will be issued to you. It will be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. I let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement to lead the way to your meeting chamber. That was easy. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? Because you did. We get a Rubenon toy. Alright. This Kalyana's elder's intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Jetbuster? The enthralled cannot be trusted. Mayhap even the enthralled can learn to compromise? You believe an understanding can be reached? It is not entirely unheard of. I suppose those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the science? I'll round up our comrades and send them into the Alamegan quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Jetbuster. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. We're finally beginning to get some business done, boys. Get this meeting over with. Yep, Buster, I brought reinforcements. Ardenvold told me of the arrival of our unexpected guest, and I agree that it would be prudent to call upon Ustula and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with enthralled. I am not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but LSA's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races, despised it. In fact, even compared to the Antana. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a repose to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine East was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Yostul and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Alden inside then. Jetbuster, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard should have been instructed to allow us pass. Okay, we all know that Yastula is like, pretty much Bay, right? She just keeps on coming out of nowhere. Like, we have no clue what Ysula has been doing since we more or less finished Stormblood. We know what Thancred's been doing. Thancred's been doing, secret ops missions, trying to more or less keep things in check and, helping us fund Kryl. And, he's always been doing something good. However, Ysula has, she got severely hurt, was supposedly recovering, somehow miraculously recovered, and has now spontaneously just appeared again in the story, to apparently assist us with the things going into Shadowbringers. Okay, it just don't fully make any sense to me because, like, what was Ysula doing within that time span after she recovered? I personally don't remember her doing anything like specific, but like I'm very curious is all I'm saying. I'm kind of questioning it. Look at all these people here. Wow. You're with the Silencer. General Alden left orders that you're to be escorted inside. If you will follow me.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Expertly done. Lise has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kalyana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith. You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady lady of bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage.
Man, why do we gotta deal with, like...
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us
Holy
all enthralled.
smokes, man! When she hits, it is like a freaking tight. Like, it's like when Lee's punches or hits anything, man, it's like a massive freaking freight train. It's so cool, man.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvold to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah, whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Alright, boys, let's take out this stupid wannabe. How do we fight without her having our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it, if I think, like, I've already lost. I have the Warrior of Light at my side. We can do this. Of course we can do this, bro. Let's do it. Use the deflect action. Use the duty action deflect to dissipate the ether spheres Lakamashi releases during the battle. Be warned that allowing an ally to be enthralled by the ether will result in failure. Oh, well, that's wonderful. Alright, let's get rid of this arrogant, stupid primal that shouldn't even exist. Alright, let's kill her already. Leaders of the Garbani accept my love, worship my light. We are gonna accept nothing. She means to enthrall everyone. We have to stop her. How about you get out of here? Must break through. Forget the primals and focus on the foe before you. How about no? Mighty tired of
I offer you peace and serenity.
this. You don't offer me jack. running around doing this. Do not, your mortal's body tire. Holy smokes, man. Oh, last time we failed. Okay. It's gonna be a little bit hard to deal with. She does summon a crap load of them when we get to that part of the stage. I hope we don't like actually like have to like focus on doing that and then on top of that like kill her, because so far that's pretty extensive. Find out blocking our retreat.
I offer you peace and serenity.
Don't offer us jack. Playing a jigsaw puzzle. Mortals not. Mortal bodies tire? No, our mortal bodies do not tire. What we do tire is you. Your so-called resistance. It's getting to be a little bit annoying.
I shall free you from your hate.
I shall free you from me. Holy smokes! Yeah, we can't stop them all. Definitely.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Why do you deny me my blessings? You defy me, show resistant death. You brought into this world over a mistake I made. I'll be damned if I let you contact you. Okay. Not ready. Wait, where did she stay on your guard? I'll cut us a path. Stand ready. Do not flee my radiance. You will all be my dreamers. Your presence is overwhelming. What? Lock down. We'll lock her down the best we can. quickly now while the Primal is east. I'm confused what's going on. I cannot run away from this. They need us. Then we stand and fight together. Alphanod, the envoys are in your care. Surely you do not mean to. Very well, shall see our guests to safety. They forsake eternal bliss. Why are you two staying? She still... what? She still has more than enough to handle you both. We need more than 3 to be best of Primal, and I will let you fall here. And if we let you fall here, then we'll be left to stop her. Lay down your weapons, get on your heads. What? I can't believe she's going after Lise and Rubenon. Crap. Puzzles, man. I mean, I like them, but it's just kind of like crazy. I think Shipbuster, I'll make sure my steel is worth the effort. Good. Again and again, you refuse my gift. Yeah, how about you just die, buddy?
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
Building up something big. Come close to me. Come, all of you. Nice work, Cordula. Are you alright, though? This is nothing. Oh, it's one thing after another. We have to fight as one. Out of my way. Why do you cling to your misery? You're starting to weaken. Don't give up. Oh yes. Behold my divine brilliance. What in the... her power's out of control. We'll shield us, but we'll have to finish her off. I can't hold her off forever. Bro, I'm trying to kill her, man. I feel like I'm like doing nothing to her though.
Here it comes.
Oh, she's getting to do a Superman punch. Holy smokes. Beast, you always amaze me, girl. Damn. She straight up Superman punched her. Alright, well, she's dead, and I hope I don't have to see her ever again, because I'm getting sick and tired of seeing this primal.
We did it! We beat her!
What is this? I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Seven hells. It's her, the Butcher.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Well fought, Jebbuster Arnvold. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kolyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have got. It's my fault. My stupid mistake. Nah, lass. We were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in the favor of the Kolyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal's servant is betrayed by his Aurora. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sir Lamaskia's influence. Thanks, Yasuo. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Cordola turned up. What was she even doing there? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it, then. It's sad, but Oragafriend was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Cordola's picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She just wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Cordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to tell people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. It's a long and arduous path you've chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphinaud. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted. Jebbuster, you and the Scions are to stand down, get some rest. You've earned it. Again, boys.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people.
Oh, cool. They would copy Ishgard's House of Commons. That's cool.
It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave. Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubun Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubun, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubun. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
You know, it is really crazy to think about that, though, to be very honest, because, like, when you look at it from a different perspective, Rubinon sacrificed so much. He went from being, working from scraps and all that nonsense, living in Alamigo when it was, underneath the Imperial regime. And he fought all the time for his entire life and everything that he did. He then, fought in the Colosseum to become exponentially rich and all that other nonsense, to becoming the general of the Immortal Flames, and then from there to, fighting and losing his arm to one of his friends, Ilberd, and it blew out of proportion from there. But like, he sacrificed so much for Ulda to get Ulda back in check, and he was, in a sense, underneath the version of slavery, you could say. It was crazy, but he was doing it underneath a justifiable reasoning. But it's just remarkable to see that he, has finally grown to where he is now. Wise, wisdom, and all that other nonsense, to the point to where now he's being freed from being underneath, like, more or less the slavery of Ul'dah, even though it truly wasn't slavery. It felt like it was slavery in that manner to him. So now he is generally free. So I kind of get the point upon what they're saying, but that's crazy, man. Well, let's go ahead and continue, and let's speak with Lise and see what's going on next.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubon. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
All right. Pippin's taking his place, which is his father. All right.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raubon.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised. Either you're more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
I think it's about time I headed back to Ralgar's Reach. What's next for all of you? LSA will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you if no objections. I'd welcome the company, Jetbuster. Why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others. Upon completion of this request, you will be able to access the palace's rooftop gardens by speaking to the Royal Maganari attendant. Alright, let's teleport back to Rolgar's Reach, excuse me. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. So Rubidan's story seems to be complete now. He's free. He's a normal citizen now. Or probably going to be like a main general leader or something like that, assistant for the Alamigan Empire. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, here we are again. Alphanaud has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Denkrit and Yashula when we heard the report of the primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our Echo blessed champions nearby this time. We'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kulyana. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kinds still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day, but someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever be a beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, the summoning Lakshmi was the Brood Mother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and in the M tribes first. I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Kulyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the resistance army? Out of interest, are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What, the Bull of Alamigo? Well, we call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups, and when Conrad passed his command onto me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Rogar's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance's spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Rubenon as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all aspects the ideal choice, assuming he accepts the post. Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms. And we got a Ruberon toy. I do give thanks to the Kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But their generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look so much jetsam. A woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. These dango are delicious. Will you have one? More breads. More sweetbreads. I surrender my blade to secure what few coins we have. It is like talking to a child. Why fate settled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive and I must return to my master's side. Come, Taisu, we shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Oh my god, these two are literally... Oh my gosh. I love Gosetsu. I love Gosetsu. But Yotetsu, I don't know. Meanwhile, back in the Imperial Palace... Have you read the reports? First Doma, then Alamigo and Lord Zenos are put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless. Aye, Lord Zenos lives? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wager war with empty words? Let them produce the Viceroy's remains? Then we shall soon put the lie to their claims. I'm so confused. Xenos committed suicide. How is he still alive? Jetbuster, great timing. I was just about to send word to the Science. I've got lots to tell you. The Council has officially recognized the Resistance as our standing army, and I expect you can guess who's been appointed commander. Suffice it to say we're in good hand. Having the Bull of Alamigo at the helm's done wonders for morale. People were dancing in the streets when the announcement was made, and we have you and the Sultana to thank for it. If you two hadn't worked your magic, he'd never have contemplated following his heart. The Council has also decreed that we're to maintain a presence in Rhaegar's Reach. Lys will continue to lead our forces in the fringes, a job she's been doing tirelessly, a bit too tirelessly, as some might say. We're constantly having to remind her to rest before she falls over. That's an exaggeration, and I always get up again. Anyway, we can hardly afford to lower our guard now. Not after our latest brush with Laskamui. Laskamui. I can't even pronounce that. We'll just say Laskamui. Speaking of which, we've been keeping a close eye on the Kolyana, and it looks like they've chosen a new leader. It's Shanti's daughter, you know, the half-dead one. For whatever reason, the Kolyana thought that she was the best candidate, which makes them leaderless, basically. As things stand, there's no prospect of engaging in talks, let alone coming to an understanding. But I won't let that stop me. I'll keep on reaching out to them until they finally see sense. Just like I've been reaching out to Fordora. She still won't meet my gaze, but she's given up trying to ignore me. It may only be the odd grunt, but at least she's responding. I'll get through to her yet. Jetbuster, there you are. Alphanod, Alice, is everything alright? Oh, we received word from Tataru. Hancock has apparently acquired information of great interest and urgency. More than she didn't say, only that we should come to Kugane right away. I have a mind for the two of us to set forth together, but Alice is determined to make it a party of three. As I've told you more than a dozen times, brother, my wounds are quite healed, and I would benefit from some fresh air. Besides, you may well need an extra pair of hands. Well, worry not, sister. I have quite given up trying to convince you. Whether we be 2 or 3, we should depart as soon as possible. You will be joining us, I trust. I was about to say I'd come too, but I'll just have to settle for cheering you on afar. Good luck with whatever it turns out to be. Thank you, Lys. Rest assured, should this business prove to be of even tangible concern to Alamigo, we shall inform you without delay. Let us be off, then. Hancock and Tataru awaits us at the Ruby Bazaar offices. Back to Kugane.
My friends, thank you for coming at such short notice.
We were told the matter was urgent. I take it Yugiri and Soroban are also involved?
My presence here is but a happy coincidence. I am come on separate business, which can wait.
My apologies. Master Hancock, pray, tell our friends exactly what you told me.
Of course, of course. Some few days ago, a large detachment of soldiers was seen arriving at the Garlean embassy. This seemed to me most unusual, as no personages of note are due to visit for a matter of months. So, I made a few inquiries, whereupon I learned of a most curious rumor. Apparently, the soldiers were dispatched to Kugane to investigate recent sightings of a certain individual. The late acting Imperial Viceroy of Doma, Yotsuyu. I beg your pardon?
I too am loath to believe it. I saw the keep come down on top of her. We all did.
I would not presume to question your eyewitness accounts, nor am I one to take rumors at face value. The fact is, the Garleans have no knowledge of what took place at Doma Castle. They may well be chasing after a woman who merely resembles Yotsuyu. But a woman who resembles Yotsuyu in the company of a grizzled Rogadan samurai? I dare say that thickens the plot.
Gosetsu! He's alive!
While I've no conclusive proof, I thought that such a possibility warranted your attention.
Have you informed Lord Hien? Well, I think we'd all like to believe the old bear survived.
Oh, I love Alice. Oh god, she's so good. I love her bluntness. It's just priceless.
Indeed. While I dare not give myself wholly to hope, I will not deny that I have prayed for such a miracle ever since that fateful day. But regardless of my personal feelings, if the Empire has seen fit to pursue these rumors so vigorously, we can scarce afford to ignore them. I am bound by duty to ascertain the truth of the matter. Will you join me in this quest? Thank you. If Gosetsu yet lives, he will need our help if he is to avoid capture.
Gosetsu is a dear friend, and we cannot abandon him to the mercy of the Empire. Our course is clear. Hancock, is there aught else you can tell us? Alas not, but I have taken the liberty of employing one of the finest informants money can buy. You shall have the latest intelligence on the Garleans' movements, and more besides.
The informant awaits your pleasure in the back streets of Sanjo Hamanachi. From its shining facade to its dark underbelly, you know Kagane as intimately as he. One of the finest informants money can buy. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Permit me to assist you in your quest, my friends. The sooner your business is concluded, the sooner we may speak of mine. Should your search take you away from Kugane, my boat is at your disposal. I shall see that she is ready to sail. I have give I'll give Sorbonne a hand. If he's providing us a ship, the least we can do is supply the provisions. We'll be at the pier if you need us. A welcome offer and an excellent plan. Without further ado, then let's seek out this informant in Sanjo Hamanachi. Well, we're going on a wild goose chase to go find our boy. I have nothing against that. Nothing at all. This should be the place. Now we wait and see who comes. It's been a while, my friends. Yes, yes, a long while indeed. Oh my god. I knew it. Oh god. I knew it. Gayodo, any funny business and you know what will happen, I trust. No funny business, only loyal service and the finest quality information. Of course, such quality does not come cheap. No, but then Hancock already paid you. Honestly, you must, I think we were born yesterday. I'll have half a mind to call Lise. No, Lise, I beg you. No boots. I will tell you everything I know, free of charge. The Empire searches for Yosetsu, high and low, far and wide. Come to enlist my help. They did, promising rich rewards for decisive information. And you've decisive information? Were the two individuals cited here indeed Gosetsu and Yosatsu? Or Yotetsu? Alas, see them with my own eyes, I did not, but the Imperials are confident, yes, very confident indeed. Look at the size of their contingent. But here is something they do not know, a rumor which you will find most interesting, I think. They say an elderly Roganan samurai appeared on Kogane Adori with a beauteous maiden and sold his katana to a pawnbroker. 'Twas not common katana either, but one of the surpassing craftsmanship. Well, that is interesting, assuming it's true. Did you corroborate the rumor with the pawnbroker in question? No, regrettably, I do not have a working relationship with the master of Sofuku Saichin. Now, why would that be? I wonder. If I didn't know better, I think he'd lent you money. He will help you, I am certain. Well, if you speak with him, we'll make a contact with the Garlean connections and learn what I can offer of their progress. A glimpse of the blade is all I need to be sure, but it is wise to let the Nazamo out of our sight. no other choice but this, and a fine choice it is. Though I am adept at gathering information, it is much more efficient to share the work. He's right. Given the urgency, we would do well to split up. And so I will go with our friend here. Nothing improves efficiency like a little supervision. Yes, we will go together, and there will be no boots. That's good. Let's be about it then. Good luck. With the katana, shall we reconvene at the pier later? Stringent as the Ruby Bazaar offices are, I prefer the fresh air. I believe Alice has her task well in hand. Shall we seek out the pawnbroker? You've earned the emote greeting. Do 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 do. What's this? Green tea set. Everything in order? Then let us proceed to Gugane Dore and find the master of Shofuko Saichen. Gugane Dore Markets. Shofuko Saichen on Kagana Dore, So Saicho. Where is this person? Oh, Perry Pawnbroker. We might have had customers like those you described. So many people come through, it's difficult to remember. Perhaps you could jog my memory by making a purchase? No? Well, you can't blame a woman for trying, huh? That doesn't seem to be the pawnbroker you seek. Okay. Bushy pawnbroker? A Rogan samurai and a maiden. I've never seen them. Now, if you don't have any business with me, make way for someone who does. Okay. To a pleasant pawnbroker. Welcome, good sir. Welcome. Would you be buying or... Ah, so you've heard the tale of the Rogan Samurai's katana. Small wonder. It is a fine example of its kind one moment. There, I hope you found our pawnbroker. Excellent work, Jetbuster, and that is the katana? There can be no doubt it is Gosetsu's blade. The craftsmanship is exquisite, is it not? And you will be pleased to know that the pledge has just expired. I should be glad to sell it to you, assuming you have the coin. This is no ordinary weapon, you understand, as it was priced accordingly. But if you are serious, I suggest you act quickly, as several noted collectors have already expressed an interest. The blade represents conclusive proof of Gosetsu's survival. I suppose this could be considered a necessary cost in securing his safe return. Yet, it is not a decision I can make alone, least of all when our nation has scarce begun to rebuild. I'll pay. Nah, my friend. Grateful though I am for the offer, I cannot ask you of this. It is enough to know that Gosetsu is alive and well. Yuri, wait. The Scions will buy the katana. Pray consider it a gift. Master Alphinaud, your kindness is touching, truly. Yet, in matters of coin, would Mistress Tataru not expect to be consulted? Come now, uh, our friend would never have relinquished his blade were the need not great. And are we not bound by honor to help a friend in need? I say we are, and I am sure Tataru will wholeheartedly agree. It's so then, you have made a wise choice, my friend. Such pieces are few and far between. Now, if you would be so kind as to come this way, I shall prepare the necessary papers. If I may ask, sir, after he visited your establishment, do you perchance know where the old samurai went? He is our friend, and we would return his weapon to him. A friend of yours, you say? I see. Well then, I suppose there can be no harm in telling you. No sooner had I provided him with the requested sum that his pretty young companion began clamoring for dango. I duly recommended those served at the Yumakio tea house, and neither did they set off. Clamoring for dango. Can these truly be the same people? It makes no sense. Some manner of code, perhaps, but it avails us not to speculate. Let us go to the tea house and see if we can pick up their trail. Alright, boys, we got his blade. And that's all that matters. Do 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 do. You may. But of course I remembered. How could I forget a pair like that? The most beautiful girl you'll ever see, scoffing down Dongo as if her life depended on it, while the old samurai looked on. Not quite what he expected, I'll wager. Far be it from me to gossip about my customers, but he was planning to spirit her away across the Ruby Sea out of the reach of her family. No doubt. When the girl had finally had her fill, they set off in the direction of the Shikoze hostelry, presumably to find someone discreet with a boat. So Gosetsu makes for Doma. But this woman who travels with him, the more I hear about her, the more I wonder if she can truly be a Yotetsu. Up on the waves. While doubts remain over the identity of Gosetsu's traveling companion, for now we can but follow the trail. Come, let us away to the pier and make ready to sail. With luck, Alice will already have joined Master Soroban and Mistress Tataru there. Do do do. Bam ba da 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 da. What's up, Soroban? Excellent timing, my friends. Mistress Alice arrived mere moments ago. Went well at my end. Gyoto met with an Imperial officer and wheedled his way to some new information. It seems the troops recently arrived in Kugane came directly from Garmald. The Imperial's base based have been kept in the dark. That's not all. A contingent of the aforementioned troops are preparing for deployment to the Ruby Sea. If I didn't know better, I'd say they picked up Gosetsu's trail. Then your information matches ours. We are quite certain that Gogetsu seeks to cross to the mainland. I'm sorry, did I hear that right? You use Scion funds to buy Gosetsu's katana at the asking price? Aye, well, we were in some haste and it seemed a worthwhile gesture. Speaking of which, here's the contract of sale. Pray see that the man is paid. All's beard. You agree to this? Give me strength. Oh god, I love Taltaru. Sigh, well, it's not like the search can wait. You'd best be on your way. But Alphanod, we need to talk. I want you to come straight to the offices as soon as we get back. Promise me. Oh, very well. I shall come call upon you as soon as I return. First, let us go to the review price. If Gosetsu has already set sail, the sentries there are sure to have seen him. Alphanod's in trouble. Oh man. That's mega funny. Tatsuru seemed rather vexed, did she not? Ever the melodramatist, I am sure our finances can stretch to a single sword. Remind me to explain that the value of such gestures when we next see her. But I digress. We have work to do. Oh god, Alphanod.
Right. I suggest we begin by learning what we can from the sentries.
What?
What's going on out there?
Travelers, are you? You may wish to postpone your plans. The Garleans have launched an attack on the Confederacy. We have no reason to believe they'll turn their attention here, but for your own safety, I suggest you return to Kugane.
The Garleans bear no love for the Confederacy, but with Doma lost to them, why would they attack? Unless...
The Garleans.
Unless Yotsuyu is on that island.
Even if she isn't, our allies are under attack and they need our help.
We will help them, while you remain with Soroban. Arguing will only delay us. Is that clear?
Fine, but you haven't heard the last of this.
Soroban, we may need to make a swift exit. See that the boat is ready to sail at a moment's notice.
It shall be done.
What, and you're going to swim there, are you?
'Tis the quickest way, and you may rest assured I've been practicing.
Yeah!
Did he just...
Come.
Did he just jump in there? The guy didn't know how to swim previously. What the... Who's been teaching him how to freaking learn how to swim?
An opening.
No time to rest, Master. Our allies are solely You're here for the old man, yes? He's at the top. You'd best hurry.
Lady Yotsuyu, we're here to rescue you. Please, come with us.
Stay back, Tsuyu.
Are you all right?
Is he all right?
Gosetsu!
Damn it, we took too long. Change of plan, eliminate hostiles! All forces, attack!
Focus on the enemy. We'll see Lady Yosetsu when they're dead. Come, let us even the odds. Reinforcements. I need reinforcements. You would summon the generals. They should still have the magic armor in reserve. Steel yourselves. We have no time for this. Watch out, he means to blow it up. reinforcements. I need more reinforcements. 2 of them. We shall eat the strategy. Draw them to the... Draw the armor this way. Slow down. Really? More Magitech? Oh my goodness.
The art of my forebears.
Onculus. How many more of these do we need to kill, bro? Holy smokes. There are too many. Draw them to me. I shall finish this. Okay, Alphanad. Jabba serve my shadows and I shall tend to the half. The rest is yours. Brace yourselves, stay above my range of destruction upon my enemies. Oh yeah, that was cool. Nice.
Gozetsu, thank the heavens.
Yugiri, my friends, the Kami were kind to guide your steps this way.
It's over. The Imperials are retreating. I suppose we have you to thank for that. But they would never have come here were it not for her. I had a bad feeling the moment your samurai friend arrived with that woman in tow.
Do not be afraid, Suyu. These people are my friends.
Friends.
Forgive me, but at the risk of souring the mood, I believe you owe us an explanation. You may start by telling us what happened at Domer Castle.
Of course. I'll not begrudge you that. As you know, we were trapped inside the keep when it collapsed. But even as the roof crumbled above us, so too did the floor below. We were swept out into the One River, where we would surely have drowned had a stout wooden door not chanced to float by, offering us a raft of sorts. Exhausted, we drifted out to sea, at the mercy of the tides, which saw fit to dispense us on a desert island.
She was with you the entire time?
Aye. 'Twas her kimono which saved her from Hien's blade, believe it or not. Some Garlean witchcraft in the weave. But it offered precious little protection against the fall. Though she survived, she awoke bereft of all her memories, and speaking like a child.
A trick, surely.
That was my first thought, aye. And I contemplated cutting her down and being done with it. Contemplated it long and hard. Yet the Kami saw fit to deliver us from certain death. 'Twas their will that we survive, both of us, together. And together we shall go before our master. He shall be the one to judge.
Judge what?
She's your prisoner, old man. Do with her as you will. Call her Tsuyu, or whatever else tickles your fancy.
'Twas a name given out of necessity whilst on the road. Nothing more.
As you say. But remember this. Our people suffered much at that woman's hands. When the time comes, I trust you won't let emotion blind you to what needs to be done.
You have my word.
Well, I must be going. I have an unholy mess to clean up. You should be on your way too, before the Imperials decide to take another tilt. Oh, and we'll overlook the tithe this once. You're welcome.
Tasone says we should move on. It would not do for Yosetsu to be seen here. Now, if I know my sister, she will already be waiting with the boat at the nearby pier. Let's go and see if I might. Dun, 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 dun. Yosetsu, thank the gods you're safe. It was all I could do to watch the battle from afar. And it was all I could do to restrain her. Can you blame me for worrying? Strong as Jetbuster is, anything could happen in the chaos. But enough about me. We need to talk about her. Greetings? They tell me you've lost your memory, and that's fine, but I want you to know something. I won't be taking my eyes off you, not for a moment. people are strange. Are you sure they're our friends? I am. They may behave strangely, but I trust them with my life. You have you have not to fear. All right, if you say so. Right, it says past we set sail. I, for one, would not keep Lord Hyan waiting without due cause. And the longer we tarry, the more we risk inviting trouble. Lest you forget, Red Kojin bear no love for Yosetsu either. I shall deliver you to familiar shores near Asari, but out of the villager's sight. Alright, let me look at something really quick. Here's where we part ways, my friend. I pray the remainder of your journey passes uneventfully. Jetbuster, when you are not otherwise occupied, I would speak with you about my next business venture. It promises to be extremely lucrative, and I do not say so lightly. After the prodigious sum spent acquiring a certain sword, it would present a fine opportunity to refill the Scion's coffers and restore the smile to Mistress Tataru's face. Come along. Tataru was overreacting. How much could a single katana possibly cost? Far more than you think, plainly. A blade like Kusetsu's is worth a fortune, enough to buy a house and furnish it, which you would know had you bothered to check the price. What? I had no idea. This business venture of Soroban's, you will give it fair hearing, I trust. He has been good to us after all. As for me, I think I shall look into drawing upon my personal funds. That's really funny. An auspicious encounter. Alright, boys, we're gonna take a quick break here. I need to get up and do a few things, so I will be back. But we'll continue on with the next episode where we go off and rebring Gosetsu and Yotatsuyo with that supposedly has memory loss or concussion or whatever. But I'll be back, but talk to you guys later. Peace.